Hey, what's going on, investors? In today's video, we'll be covering Cloudflare. The ticker symbol for Cloudflare is NET. So, to start off, want to remind you guys this video is for entertainment purposes. Please contact your financial advisor. So, this is something that I've been wanting to share with you guys is I'm actually currently subscribed to option stock alerter from this place called TNT Options, which is sort of ran and kind of led by John, Pete, and Jarian. If you're familiar with, or if you watch CNBC News, they're the two option guys that are usually talking options on CNBC, and pretty interesting dudes. I mean, just by looking at them, guys with goatees that kind of look like twins and stuff. So they're actually pretty chill guys, and they have a ton of information out there on options and how to trade options. So I decided to give it a shot, and just pretty much said, what the heck, I'll try it out, subscribe to their forum and see how it goes, see if I learn a few things. And it's actually been going pretty good. I think that a lot of the alerts that they send out, which they usually send about one every week with a few bonus names here and there, are pretty spot on and usually end up hitting their target. For example, the previous alert they had sent out was on JP Morgan, and of course JP Morgan ended up just kind of blowing up because of its share buyback, that the government let some of the banks buy back some of their shares. So I gotta say, my experience so far has been really positive with TNT options and this forum, and I wanted to share this with you guys so you guys can also, take a look and see what you think. But with that, let's dive right in. So we're looking at Cloudflare, and as you can see here on their member forum, they usually send out some trade ideas once every week and kind of give consistent updates on the same trade idea. So you can see here they sent out JP Morgan for the week of the 15th. They usually send it out on either Monday or Tuesday morning, Monday afternoon after markets close, or Tuesday in the morning. So you can see they send it out and then they give a few updates on the actual trade. And this time they sent out a new trade, which we'll be looking at today, and that is Cloudflare, ticker symbol NET. So the stock closed around 86.32 after hours, but in their trade idea they're saying to either buy the December 24th expiration 86 strike price calls for whatever it's trading at, roughly this price at the time they send it out, or if you're in the bearish market, buy the puts, 84 puts for 150 with the stock below 84. So let's kind of take a look at their analysis and see what they're thinking about. So we can see here that they have their price targets here. So and then the stock is currently at 86.21, and some of the trend lines, the 20-day, 50-day, I believe this is 100-day and 200 moving averages, and then just a small trend line here. But currently they're saying, and they usually give a brief summary as to what's going on, kind of like outlook on the market, which is pretty interesting to read here and there. But for purposes of this video, I just want to go into and kind of share a little bit about the trade idea. So they're saying, first of all, they're saying to buy the 86 calls with an expiration December 24th with the stock above yesterday's close of 86.21. So they're saying we should buy above 86.21 because that'll give it good momentum on the upside, which means that the momentum would be in our favor or supporting our bullish position. And then from there, they're saying that we will consider taking profits at these target levels. First, profit taking level would be with the stock trading at 87.20. The second profit level would be with the stock trading at 88.65. And then the third profit level would be with the stock trading at 90.55. And I also want to give another experience that I've had with them. I usually, end up going, getting at least either anywhere between 20 to 100% returns on my contracts. So they're actually pretty spot on with a lot of their activities that they send out. So if we look at the unusual, most actively stock options, we see that, when we're filtering for the names, we've seen Cloudflare actually does show up, so there's pretty strong call volume, 85% calls to 14% puts. So, that right away is a good sign. And then when we're diving into the expiration dates of December 24th, expirations with the strike price of 86, we see that the indication for unusual option activity is actually pretty high. But, this is kind of weird thing that there's open interest of 6, but nonetheless, there's a pretty high indication of this unusual option activity. So if we're looking into this, we can take a look at some of the, so let's look at this contract first. So 86, we see that there's open interest of 524, which is roughly 100,000. But they're saying that, their target levels are 87.20. And actually but they're saying to buy the stock, buy the stock above yesterday's close of 86.21. Now, we kind of want to also do our own due diligence, and see, what exactly is that looking at. So, want to buy it definitely at 86.21 because, down below that we have another support level, but it's trending in the positive route, so that's a good starting point. And then our first target level is going to be 87.20. So when we're looking at our little cheat sheet here, 87.20 we see is the 52-week high. So you can see they're sort of the thinking behind their logic. So they're expecting that the stock will try to reach back to its 52-week high. And if it has enough momentum, obviously it'll keep going up. So if it keeps going up, the stock could potentially go to 88.65. So when we're looking at 88.65, the second level of resistance after that 52-week high would probably be this first resistance point. So 87.95 isn't too far from that 88.65. So they're expecting a little bit more momentum. And then the second level of resistance, 89.70, also isn't too far from their 90.55. So you can see where they're sort of getting these target level froms. Now, as far as these contracts not going in favor of our direction, we want to also try to set a stop loss. So they usually also kind of give some indication of when to close down. So like right here, they're saying our call stop will be the stock trading back down below 86.21. So they're saying that, when the stock comes back, if the stock comes back down here or even lower than 86.21, we want to consider closing our contracts because the momentum is not in our favor. So I think this is a really good position. The options I think are also pretty cheap. So if we're looking at one option $205, okay, two options $400. So they're pretty cheap and fairly liquid. As you can see, there's still a lot of volume trading, a lot of open interest still. So pretty good position here, and been meaning to share this with you guys. I'll be posting more frequently about some of their trade ideas that they send out. Like I said, they usually send about one a week, so I'll try to share these with you guys because I really like these a lot, and I think they're usually spot on with their predictions. So let me know what you guys think about Cloudflare and about these unusual option activities. Let me know if you're thinking of considering taking any of these positions, or if you're already in Cloudflare and anything that you like. Actually, one thing before we go, maybe we can look at sort of what's in the news for Cloudflare. So if you go to CNBC, we can see maybe what's actually driving this. But usually some of their signals, are kind of driven by concepts of maybe insiders or people who are, in the know of what could be driving the stock. Mainly because that's usually been my experience when, for example, when they sent out the alert on JP Morgan, obviously it was kind of a weird alert for any investors to be creating unusual option activity for a bank at the time, which was last week. And then, at the end of the week, as you guys know, there was a big announcement that banks were being allowed to repurchase their shares, and immediately after JP Morgan announced that they were going to be buying back billions, I can't remember the number, in share repurchases, which is pretty crazy. First of all, I was kind of suspicious that someone was buying call options in advance of this news, but they were spot on with their prediction and caught that on before the news happened. And like I said, this is totally legal because they're following the options activity. They're not going off of any insider information. We're just kind of going off of what activity is being posted in the trade flow, which is public information. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Unusual option activities typically indicative of some kind of someone having some kind of insider information or some kind of hunch on what's going to happen. So we can see here that Cloudflare says, see, zero trust architecture's answer to U.S. government as COVID pushes more people online, companies that help. So yeah, so I mean, there's a pretty good positive trend in cloud just everywhere. I think in particular there was announcement that of the cyber hack by Russians in the U.S. So Cloudflare is a big big proponent in transitioning and having more secure architecture in the cloud. So you can see here, so zero trust architecture is an answer to U.S. government breach. So, and I think Jim Cramer had an interview with the CEO, so you can look into that there. But, I think they're one of the stronger players and have a pretty good reputation in their cloud business as far as security goes. So I think with the recent cyber attacks, that could be potentially driving this, this bullish trend. So I always think it's interesting, maybe there's going to be an announcement or of some kind that Cloudflare will be involved in helping the U.S. government, or that the U.S. government is in some kind of deal with Cloudflare. So we won't know until we kind of see this momentum going. So I guess we'll find out as the week progresses. But these are always interesting. So really wanted to share these with you guys, and we'll see what happens. And anyways, thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.